In this video, I'll show you how to build an advanced version of the personal budget planner in Google Sheets, one that lets you analyze custom time periods with just a few clicks. Since releasing my ultimate dynamic personal budget planner, I've received valuable feedback from users. One of the most requested features was the ability to analyze not just a single year or month, but any time range, like the summer months, June through August, or a full period from April 2024 to April 2025. So in this tutorial, I'll walk you through how to make your summary tab more flexible and dynamic using dropdowns and smart formulas to define your desired time frame. If you haven't already created the original budget planner template, I recommend watching my previous video, How to Create the Ultimate Dynamic Personal Budget in Google Sheets, full step-by-step tutorial. The link is in the description, or you can grab the ready-to-use version from the same link. Let's get started. Open your Ultimate Budget Planner in Google Sheets and make a copy. You can name it My Advanced Budget Planner. Then go to the Summary sheet, click the tab drop-down, and select Duplicate. Rename the new sheet to Summary 2. We'll now start adjusting the layout to accommodate a flexible period selector. Navigate to View, Show, and select Grid Lines. Select D1 through G1 and drag this down lower one row to delete what is there. Select B2, change B2 to From. In B3, type Analyze, font size 12, bold, horizontal align center. Change B4 to 2. Select C3D3 and drag it one line down to delete what is there. Check if your C1 spreadsheet is visible. If it is not, click on a 3 lines icon in your bottom tab selection line and select C1. Create a new drop-down list for C4. In G3, enter the formula. In G4, enter the formula. In G5, enter the formula. And so on, up to G28. Switch back to the Summary 2 spreadsheet. Select C4, navigate to Insert, drop-down. Change the criteria to drop down from a range. In the field below it, type the formula. Press Enter. In Advanced Options, change the display style to arrow. Click Done. Navigate to Fill Color, set it white, font size 12, bold. Select year 2025 from the drop-down list. Select D2, navigate to Insert dropdown. Change the criteria to dropdown from a range. In the field below it, type the formula. Press Enter. In Advanced Options, change the display style to arrow. Click Done. Select D2E2, Merge, Fill Color, White font size 12, bold. Select any month from this new drop-down list. Align horizontally to center and vertically to middle. Copy D2 and paste to D4. Switch to the C1 tab. In D12, type month from. In D13, type month to. In E12, enter the formula. In E13, enter the formula. Name E12 as month from. Press Enter. Name E13 as month to. Press Enter. Close the Data Validation Rules window. Switch back to the Summary 2 spreadsheet. Select C2. Navigate to Data, Named Ranges. Add a range. Name it as year from. Click Done. Select C4. Add a range. Name it as year 2. Click Done. Close the window Name Ranges. Switch to the budget spreadsheet and add data for one more year. Select D7 through O13. Copy. Select R7 and paste. Select D18 through O24. Copy. Select R18 and paste. Select D29 through O35. Copy. Select R29 and paste. Now switch to the cash flow spreadsheet and let's add data for one more year. To save time in this video, I'll simply copy and paste this data from a separate worksheet I've already prepared. Switch to the Summary 2 spreadsheet. Select B7 and replace the formula with another one. This formula is designed to extract and format data from the budget and cash flow tables. Note: I won't go into all the details and techniques behind this formula, as it's beyond the scope of this tutorial. However, if you're interested in a detailed breakdown, let me know in the comments, and I might create a separate video just for that. How to copy the formula. For your convenience, I will now slowly scroll through the formula so you can copy it step by step. If you prefer, you can also find a download link in the video description. Next, you have to prepare data for your new pie charts. Switch to the C1 spreadsheet, select L4 through AB10, copy and paste it to L69. Press Enter. Select L69 and replace its formula with another one. Press Enter. Select R69 and replace its formula with another one. Press Enter. This formula has the same structure as you placed into L69. Just use expenses instead of income in all occurrences. Select X69 and replace its formula with another one for the savings pie chart. Press Enter. Change the formula in P69. Replace O10 with O75. Distribute this formula down to P74. Change the formula in V69. Replace U10 with U75. Distribute this formula down to V74. Change the formula in AB69. Replace AA10 with AA75. Distribute this formula down to AB74. Switch to the Summary 2 spreadsheet. Select the first pie chart. Click the three dots icon. Choose Edit Chart. Change data range to the new summary data. Switch to the C1 spreadsheet. Select P69 through P74. Click OK. Now, change references for the data labels and its values. Do similar changes to the expenses and savings pie charts. It's time to test the summary table and its pie charts, selecting different periods using drop-down boxes for years and months. Let's do it. Next, you have to prepare data for your new budget versus actual charts. Switch to the C1 spreadsheet, select L18 through O22, copy and paste it to L78. Press Enter. Select M81 and replace its formula with another one. Select N81 and replace its formula with the next one. It is basically the same formula as for M81, where income replaced with expenses. Select O81 and replace its formula for the savings chart. Select M82 and replace its formula with another one. Select N82 and replace its formula with the next one. Select O82 and replace its formula for the savings chart. Select M81 through O82. Navigate to Format Number and choose Number, Number 0. Switch to the Summary 2 spreadsheet. Select Income per Period Chart. Click on three dots icon. Select Edit Chart. Replace data range with Press Enter. Select Expenses per Period Chart. Replace data range with Press Enter. Select Savings per Period Chart. Replace data range with Press Enter. Close the chart editor window. Test your edited charts selecting different periods using drop-down boxes for years and months. Next, you have to prepare data for your new monthly charts. Switch to the C1 spreadsheet in L85 type for monthly charts. In J87, enter the formula. In order to reserve the space for each chart data, in I87 type 1, in I88 type 2, select both and distribute them down to number 25. So we will limit each of our monthly charts for 2 consecutive years maximum. In J115, enter the formula. In J143, enter the formula. Select I-87 through I-111. Copy and paste twice into I-115 and I-143. Select N27 through O28. Copy and paste into N and 88. Select N89, O89, and distribute them down to N111, O111. Paste same copy of N27 through O28 into N116. Select N117:O117 and distribute them down to N139:O139. Paste same copy of N27 through O28 into N144. Select N145:O145 and distribute them down to N167:O167. Select O88 through O167. Navigate to Format, Number, and choose Number, Number 0. Switch to the Summary 2 spreadsheet. Select the Actual Income Monthly Chart. Click on three dots icon, select Edit Chart, replace data range with press Enter. Select the Actual Expenses Monthly Chart. Replace data range with press Enter. Select the Actual Savings Monthly Chart. Replace data range with press Enter. Close the chart editor window. Test your edited chart selecting different periods using drop-down boxes for years and months. Select S32:T32, merge and write a note. Limited for 2 consecutive years. Set text color to dark gray, 3, horizontal align center. Navigate to View Show and uncheck grid lines. Now you can hide the technical worksheet C1. Right-click on its tab and choose Hide Sheet. Congratulations! You've successfully built an advanced budget planner in Google Sheets. With this enhanced version, you can now analyze your budget across any custom time period, compare income, expenses, and savings over multiple months or years, instantly update your summary with dynamic dropdowns, maintain full visibility into your financial trends and habits. This flexible setup gives you the power to make smarter, data-driven financial decisions, whether you're reviewing a single season or your entire financial year. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below if you have any questions or suggestions for future tutorials. You can also find the full ready-to-use version of this template in the video description. Thanks for watching, and happy budgeting!